Ladies and gentlemen, you're very welcome here to Brewster Park in Enniskillen for this Players' Championship Division 1A final. Referee Dermot Lowe's ready to throw up the game, and this final between Derrygonnelly and Kinawley's underway. That ball's broken down. We'll get through the teams in a minute, but Kinawley's on the move. That's their centre half-back, Acton O'Cahan, who seems to have pulled up with an injury, and that's a very unfortunate start to the game. John McElroy's joining me for this here. John, Acton was just getting away there, and he seemed to be... He could have torn a hamstring or something.
It looks very like a hamstring. He wasn't going to stop there either, although he had to because he was on a good run there from the throw in.
So with this break in play, that'll give us a chance to go through the teams, and we'll start with Derrygonnelly. Their goalkeeper is number 1, Lee Scoose. Their full back line of Dennis Green, Michael Jones and Aaron Jones. Half back line, Neil Gallagher, Aidan McKenna and Garvin McGinney, with a midfield of Oisin Smith, Ryan McGovern. Centre half forward line is Ronan McHugh, Ryan Jones and Eamon McHugh, with a full forward line, Gavin McGovern, Connell Jones and Lee Jones. So the play is going to continue after it's a very early change for Kinawley, and they've had to take off number 6 Acton O'Cahan. Instead of that, they've brought on Ben Corrigan. So Ben Corrigan is replacing Acton O'Cahan very early on in this game. Play underway, and that was centre half back Aidan McKenna kicking the ball over to Ryan Jones. Now it's Dennis Green starting to break out. 2 Derrygonnelly men bottle him up. Referee Dermot Love says he took too many steps, and that was the Kinawley wing half forward Lorcan McKenna looking to take that early. Derrygonnelly man in the road. Dermot Love has brought it forward up to the 45 metre line. It's going to be straight in front of the goals. It's in the hands of Tomas Corrigan. And John, this is first scoring opportunity.
Yeah, well, it's a free that you wouldn't be too far to take, just because it's far enough out, and although Thomas has scored these before, but it's just a pressure kick right away.
The forwards generally like to get one in a bit closer.
Yeah.
It's also in the middle of the goals, and sometimes they like it with a bit more of an angle, lining that one up in, and that's gone wide. So, and it's gone rightly wide where we see where it's ended up. No. Just not the easy one that forwards like to start off with.
As you said, it's better than one of the sides, you know.
Goalkeeper Lee Scoose lining up this kick out. He's coming over to this stand side of the field, and it's pushing and shoving in there, but that was caught well by Oisin Smith. Takes his mark, plays it forward now, and that's Lee Jones. Got well out ahead of Niall Bug, kicking the ball first time into Connell Jones. He's in a man-to-man duel with Derrygonnelly O'Cahan. Jones goes to ground, Cahan in on top of him, the ball spins out. Now it's been picked up by Ryan McGovern. He's turning around looking for support, goes to ground again, gives it over here now to Neil Gallagher in midfield. He spreads it over here to Ronan McHugh on this stand side of the field. Immediately Rory McAloon gets around that challenge, trying to give it to Ryan Jones. He got away from the tackle of Arno O'Reilly. Now Ryan Jones is in onto goal's going to take it over the bar. That's the first score of the game. There was a chance for a goal, but Ryan Jones moved back towards the centre, John, to get
a good angle for himself.
Get a better angle to take the point.
Experience there now.
So that was Ryan Jones who really made that there. This game, in the initial stages, I'm just looking around, John, there's a lot of pushing and shoving and getting to know each other going on.
Well, it's a
final.
It's a final.
So, goalkeeper Owen Mullaney, he's going to kick this ball out. He's going over to that far side of the field. Plenty of bunch of players in there. That's dropped down. Arno O'Reilly breaking forward. Can't get the ball into his hands. Referee Dermot Love says that's a free. I have to say I didn't really see an infringement over there. Arno O'Reilly didn't just get away with that there, but Sean McManus kicking that ball in first time, and it's gone over the top. That's come into the hands of Owen McManus. Goal chance still on here now. It's over here to Tom Keenan. Tom Keenan trying to get the ball away. Derrygonnelly with other players back. That's chipped in over the bar by Tom Keenan. That was Owen McManus. The ball, the 2 Derrygonnelly players moved forward. They both got caught up in midfield, in and around the square there. It bounced into the hands of Owen McManus. He got the ball. It bounced away from, got it back, give it to Tom Keenan. By that time, Derrygonnelly had got the cover back, and in the end up, Tom Keenan got that ball over the bar.
Yeah, lucky enough at the end to get a point because he was nearly crowded out of it there. But initially it should have been a goal without a question. You know, the pass across the face of the goals wasn't arriving early enough.
I'd say Owen McManus mightn't find himself in as good a position again for a chance, but if he does get back in, no doubt he'll try to get the goal. So that score brings the game now to 1 point apiece. There's more medical attention coming on with the Derrygonnelly fullback, who's Michael Jones, and now we're going to have an opportunity to go through the Kinawley team. The goalkeeper is number 1 Owen Mullaney, a full back line of Niall Bug, Dara O'Cahan and Liam Owens. The centre half back line was Arno O'Reilly, where number 5 Acton O'Cahan was, where number 6. He has been replaced after that early injury, and it's number 17, Ben Corrigan, who has taken his place. Number 7 is Rory McAloon. In the middle of the field, it's Gabriel McHugh and Kieran Breen, with a half forward line of Lorcan McKenna, Sean McManus and Paul Breen. Full forward line, Tom Keenan, Tom Corrigan and Owen McManus. That full forward line for Kinawley, John, has a lot of speed and plenty of skill.
Yeah, I see Tom Keenan.
Yeah.
I saw him last weekend there too. It was the first time I've seen him this year, and I wasn't too sure whether he was playing or injured or what the story was, but he took a bit of marking now. He's sharp on it.
He has lightning pace.
Yeah.
And he's not physically big, John.
No, but
he's in this
bracken ball here too.
Bracken balls come down, and that's Tom Keenan going for
and
the long. Lee Jones goes down for
free there.
It probably should have been a free, but Keenan gets it away, and now it's going in there to their midfielder Gabriel McHugh. That ball spins back now, it's into the hands of Sean McManus, and that was a high ball over to Tom Keenan. It was done well by Aaron Jones, who picked that up, but Kinawley have the game on that far side of the field. Aaron O'Reilly providing a run. That's their number 12, Paul Breen, on the left foot. He maybe had a bit more time than that, because that's ended up going wide, Joan.
Yeah, but it goes to show you the guts that's attached on Tom Keenan, because twice he batted down on the ball there and several men around him, and he still was keen to get it,
Now that kick out was taken short by Lee Scouse, and it is now Ryan Jones who has got two players around him. Dermot Love says that he was bottled up. He was under phenomenal pressure, Joan.
He was indeed, yeah. I still think he could have let him go another foot there, and he'd been ready to clear the ball,
I suppose one of the things about that short kick was it left Ryan Jones with the ball on his own 21 metre line. He had a lot of opponents around him.
He had a lot of opponents around him, but I always figured that Ryan Jones' best position was coming from deep from middle of the field, from even centre half back position.
That was a short free taken by Tomas Corrigan, giving it to the hands of Sean McManus on the left foot, spinning around, puts that over the bar. Kinawley now take a 2-1 lead. It'll be interesting to see what the goalkeeper does on this kick out. I have a feeling he's going to go long, Joan.
Yeah, it's looking like it.
Going long out to midfield now. It's Ryan Jones and Kieran Breen for that, but number 14 Conal Jones comes towering in there, gives a lovely ball to release Ronan McHugh on this stand side of the field. He has got number 10 Lorcan McKenna after him. Now that's a nice ball into Rian McGovern and giving it back to Gavin McGovern. That ball is going over to the far side of the field, and that's gone wide. Another wide for Derrygonnelly in these early stages. Anyway, the scoreline still remains 2 points to Kinawley, 1 point to Derrygonnelly in this Players' Championship Division 1A final here in Brewster Park in Enniskillen. And this game is coming to you live on Fermanagh GA TV in association with Monaghan Brothers. Don't forget that tomorrow evening Ger Tracy will bring in you the Division 1B final, and that's going to be between Devonish and Ern Gales. We'll have a chance to talk about that later on, because the play is underway, and it's number 4 Liam Owens. He's breaking down this stand side of the field. He's got Conal Jones after him, but Owens has got away. He's run 20, 30, 40, 50 metres, and he's still going, getting away, because all the Derrygonnelly or the Kinawley players have kept out of his road. Liam Owens was in a scoring position, taking that ball on the right foot, and he's got the score. He run the entire field, Joe.
Yeah.
No, the Kinawley players kept out of his way, left the corner free.
Ball control the whole way down, and as I say, his man
he was nearly out of options, and he had to go for the score, and he got it.
I think my memory says me right, that lad played a lot of football in that half forward line.
Yeah, well, he backed himself and got that over the field, and that is another point for Kinawley. 3 points to Kinawley, 1 point for Derrygonnelly. That's Ryan Jones was calling for a free there. I
think he was lucky enough there now.
Yeah, he seemed to force Dermot Love's hands.
Yes, he did, of course,
That's a loose challenge from Gabriel McHugh with the referee. Dermot Love says play away, and on that far side of the field it's Ryan McGovern. He gives it over here to the midfield partner, who's Oisin Smith, breaking inside the 45 metre line. Derrygonnelly have a player over. Here's a chance of a goal for them. That's going in. Goalkeeper Owen Mullanaphy did well to come out, shorten the angle, and that ball ended up going wide. It was, I think it was Gavin McGovern in that instance who had that goal opportunity.
Good build up to it too, so it was
really
better finish,
Yeah, I think Gavin McGovern needed to take a step to the side to get around the goalkeeper, because Owen Mullanaphy was out right onto his toe as he was kicking that, and it left the angle very narrow and ended up going wide. More running repairs going on here. I think that's Kieran Breen, most likely with I think he's maybe a bit of blood, because he seems to be coming off to this. He's coming off the field, so Kinawley are going to have to bring on a temporary substitution here momentarily, down to 14 men. Here's goalkeeper Owen Mullaney going high, 3v2, but that was caught well from Paul Breen. First time ball into Sean McManus. He's got away from Dennis Green. That's a one bounce in front, doing well. Sean McManus is breaking in, probably looking it back for the. He fits it in over here now to Lorcan McKenna. McKenna coming outside to try to get the better angle, gives it to Moss Corrigan. Very tight angle on the right foot. That's going to run in short. That's Ben Corrigan in there. The two Kinawley men ran into each other, but Ben Corrigan has got it back. Gives it over here to Sean McManus with a Derrygonnelly man down after that challenge, and that's Sean McManus on the right foot this time, and that's gone over the bar. Scoreline now reads 4 points to Kinawley, 1 point for Derrygonnelly. And we'll have a Derrygonnelly player down. I'm not right sure who it is. We'll see. His number will come up in a minute. But a bit of a coming together there.
Bit of a coming together, but Kinawley should be satisfied with themselves looking on the scoreboard, because they've got a good start, and you know, the more games Kinawley play in Bristol Park, all the better for themselves, and especially its finals of any description.
I suppose some of the background of this here game, John, is that these two teams met in this competition, and the scoreline finished 6 points to 4. So we're already at half of that scoring in the minute. Haven't even hit the first water break.
There's been on both teams there. There's been a few lovely catches on the drive. It looks great, isn't it?
And a lot of attacking at speed as well. And I would be shocked if in Kinawley's mind, that was Garvin McGinley who was down receiving treatment there, but I would be shocked in Kinawley's mind if they are not thinking about the championship semi-final here last year when they were really blown out of the water by Derrygonnelly. That has not happened in this first quarter. Done well. That was well engineered by Derrygonnelly now, because Roland McHugh giving it to Aidan McKenna under a bit of pressure, but he gets away from that challenge, giving it to Lee Jones, and now he's looking to find Garvin McGinley on his own 45 metre line. They're going to change the point of attack over to the far side of the field. That's Eamon McHugh picking that up. He has got Aidan McKenna breaking inside the Kinawley field. Took too many steps. That was what I was thinking that myself. Referee Dermot Love said that Aidan McKenna took too many steps, and that is one thing I've seen Dermot Love referee a couple of games. He is lethal on players taking too many steps. Tom Keenan with this ball now. He has got Aaron Jones, his immediate marker. Back to Tom Keenan. Plenty of support out in that midfield position. It's Lorcan McKenna who has got Niall Bowe giving him an overlap over there on that far side of the field. Niall Bowe, probably not known for his scoring ability. He gives a nice ball into Sean McManus, but Dennis Green does well to get a hand in, knock that ball away, and that was 3 Kinawley players against 1 Derrygonnelly player there, John. But
they're closing down very quickly, man in possession. They're going to the man with possession, and they're closing down very quickly.
Ball in there. That was well done by Paul Breen, who got the ball away from Ryan Jones, and now Kinawley on the attack again. Kieran Breen has come back on, giving it to Sean McManus, left footed, spraying that over to Tomas Corrigan, and Tomas Corrigan claims his mark on the far side of the field. He's about 15 metres in from the side.
That's a better angle for Tom here.
That's right, John. We were talking about he missed his first one, which was from the 45, really straight in front of the goal. That's a perfect angle for the right footed kicker, kicking that in, plenty of height. And I have a feeling it's going over the bar. I see the umpire's hands going up, and that's another point for Kinawley. They've had all the play in this first half. 5 points to Kinawley, 1 point to Derrygonnelly.
Right, they could be very satisfied with their first few minutes, and so they should.
The Derrygonnelly goalkeeper, he's looking for options going to that far side of the field. Derrygonnelly defence has been well marshalled, because Kinawley have been breaking down a lot of these balls, Joe.
They're not going to let Ryan Jones catch.
They're not giving him clean catches and marks. That's a heavy challenge on Ryan Jones. He's got possession, shrugs off that. He's onto the edge of the D, getting to the nice angle on the right foot, and he's got the second score, and that's Ryan Jones' second score. He done well because he was fouled, but his strength, he was able to shrug off that tackle, John, and get in to get a better angle, put that ball over the bar. Scoreline now reads 5 points, Kinawley, 2 points Derrygonnelly.
There's no way that Ryan was going to shoot until he got the angle right and throw it over the bar there.
So, as we'll have the water break soon, but as we were saying, John, it's a good open game and hard hitting as well.
It's hard hitting, it's open on a lovely dry evening. What more could you ask for?
The conditions are perfect here. It's cool for anyone watching it, but out on the field I'm sure the heat will be warm enough. That's Eamon McHugh battling in there, but it's picked up now by Aaron O'Reilly. He's over on that far side of the field. That pass did not go to hand. It was snuffed out well by Neil Gallagher. Now Derrygonnelly's on the attack. That ball slides away from Ronan McHugh and Paul Breen, who's had quite a good first half so far, doing well. He's looking for support over there at Sean McManus. Now Kinawley with the opportunity to attack. That's a kick ball. Aidan McKenna does well to break that out, and now Derrygonnelly are away on the attack again. That's their cornerback Dennis Green giving it to Ronan McHugh. They're inside the 65 metre line looking for options here, and it's Oisin Smith who's breaking inside the 65. Bounced the ball twice. He bounced the ball twice. That's a technical foul, and now Kinawley are looking to take this quick. There's been no hanging back, but that ball was kicked away.
I was the experience of Gavin McGinley wouldn't be too far away in situations like that now.
And that is said Gavin McGinney. He's got inside the 45 metre line. He has a chance to score here now, but he's looking to give it to Lee Jones. Over, angle's getting tight over there, but he chips it in on the right foot. That ball's going over the ball. That was a lovely score.
He was put into the poor angle there.
It was getting narrower and narrower by the second, but he was able to chip that in over the bar. And now the scoreline at the first water break, John, 5 points Kinawley, 3 points to Derrygonnelly. In the last 3 to 4 minutes, Derrygonnelly have really come back into the game.
They've come back in it, but the good thing about this, it's no challenge game. It mightn't be the final of the league as such, but both teams want to win it, right?
And that's
some of them are keen to win it. Both of them are keen to win it.
It's not to say that Derrygonnelly were ever out of this, but Kinawley have had a lot of the play, and possibly they could even be disappointed to be only 2 points in front. They definitely will rue their opportunity at not scoring a goal.
Yeah, no question on that. Yeah, it should have been. But you can't leave him forward and behind you like that there. Like, and he was.
Well, that's down to communication, because the two players.
He was clearly in the open too, and it was a good quick feed off, and he shoot young Keenan in the back of the net.
Well, with this break for the Susishka, it does give us an opportunity just to talk about this competition. This is the players' competition where the 10 Division 1 teams are split into 2 separate groups, A and B, and Derrygonnelly and Kinawley were the 2 teams who finished at the top of the 1A section. Derrygonnelly had 4 victories. They beat Irvinstown with a scoreline of 115. They had 6 points scored against Kinawley, who had 4, 115 again against Tempo, and 116 to 2-9 against Erdene. That's 61 scores in 4 games, which leaves them as the second highest scorers. John, again, we probably have to remember that this competition does not include the county players.
No, it doesn't include the county players, but I know the way it was drawn. It was drawn clearly from a hat, but I still think that the difference in the number of county players missing from one team should be better balanced. You know, you're going to have to come to that series now, because I'm not complaining about last Friday night. We went to Kinawley. We were short 4 county players.
Yeah, and Kinawley have no players on the county.
Both teams were short. I know, like, they were
in these early rounds of the league.
Well,
just before this kick out, it'll give us a quick chance to go through the Kinawley teams. They had a win over Erdene in the first game, 8 points to 6. After that, they lost to Derrygonnelly 6 points to 4. Then it's been 2 wins from 2, with 2-8 to 1-6 against Irvinstown, and that game that John was talking about, 4-9 to 2-12 against Tempo. Away the play goes again. Now it's Ronan McHugh who's breaking inside the 45 metre line. There's 2, 4, 5 Kinawley players after him. That leaves space. That's Oisin Smith giving it to Conal Jones on the edge of the D. Well blocked down by the number 8, who is Gabriel McHugh. But he fouled.
Donegal, Kinawley had that covered there, and your man had to foolishly go and put a hand in and foul him.
Yeah, it was a very loose challenge.
Just pulled him round, and that is it. You're not going to get away with that. But the rest of the Kinawley defence were well to the fore there.
Because it's given Conal Jones an opportunity to kick this on the edge of the D, right-footed, simple enough angle, and now we're looking at a 1-point game, John.
I mentioned in the beginning that Kinawley would be glad to get playing so many matches in Bristol Park, but it took them a long time catching up on the number of times Derrygonnelly have played in it.
That's right, Derrygonnelly are a battle-hardened team here in Bristol Park, and I think the way they attack as well, it's the extra space really does suit them, the more expansive area here. Just looking at how the teams are setting up, Kinawley are sitting with a 2-man full forward line. They're taking the extra players out towards between midfield and the centre half forward position. That's Owen Mullaney going long at ball, come into the hands of Aaron Jones, and he takes that, giving it over here now to Neil Gallagher. Now it's to the centre half back, Aidan McKenna. back to Neil Gallagher as well. And Derrygonnelly are probably in a patient position there. They hadn't really had much forward momentum, but it's turned around now because this is Lee Jones breaking forward, chipping that ball in to Eamon McHugh over that far side of the field. McHugh has to try and get a better angle, giving it here to Rian McGovern, and now it's back to Ryan Jones. I thought he was going to look for the chance, but he was only looking for a better position for himself. That's a wonderful pass to Eamon McHugh, spinning away from that challenge. He was going for the shot, well blocked by Paul Breen, and now Kinawley have it through the hands of Lorcan McKenna. That pass from Ryan Jones, John, it just opened up the Kinawley defence because he found Eamon McHugh in a lot of space.
Yes, well, I think Eamon was kind of shocked when he found himself so close to goals, because he's usually a very, very reliable defender.
Now, referee Dermot Love is sending the play back, I think. Yeah, he's looking. It's going to be taken from near enough the Kinawley end line. So goalkeeper Owen Millan, if he's going to take this, probably going to take it short to Niall Bogue. Now Niall Bogue has in his own 21 metre line. He's immediately faced by Oisin Smith. Gets around that challenge, and now Kinawley are on the attack, coming into midfield. It is their full back, who is Dara O'Cahan. He's marking Connell Jones. And now it's over here to their wing half forward, who's Lorcan McKenna. Got under a lot of play in this first half. He's looking to deliver the ball in to Sean McManus. That's a lovely ball. McManus gets away from Dennis Green, and Aidan McKenna's in there as well. But I do think that there was I could definitely see that Sean McManus's hand was being held, his arm was being pulled in there.
There was very little support coming off him there, so he was looking for somebody to give the ball that hadn't arrived. And then he had to go on his own, and then it was too late then. Yeah,
and I think one of the things, again, Derrygonnelly had two players back there between Aidan McKenna and Dennis Green. They had enough cover.
Yeah.
But the temptation can just be in there to tug the arm, and referee Dermot Love seen it, called us free, and now Kinawley coming from the left foot of Paul Breen. This is going to be, it certainly suits a left-footed kicker, John.
Definitely does, right angle for him.
So Paul Breen, and I think Kinawley could do with getting this score again, because from the water break they have been slightly quieter here, and that's Paul Breen kicking that in. It's going wide.
Costly again, but however.
Well, everything's a learning position, so it is, John. Short kick out now, it's into the hands of Neil Gallagher over there with Oisin Smith doing well. Now it's Neil Gallagher who's got outside his 45 metre line. He's met Dennis Green, goes to ground but gets his pass away. Quick hands from the Derrygonnelly defence, and they really need to be, because Kinawley are hunting in packs in the forward line, and it only is going to be a matter of time, John, before they turn over the Derrygonnelly defence.
Right.
Away we go again. It's Aaron Jones in this stand side of the field. He has given it to Eamon McHugh. He's plenty of support. Rian McGovern's there as well, and so is Lee Jones now. But it's Ryan Jones who takes that ball, gets around. I think he had tucked to when he says referee Dermot Love says play away. Now it's outside the 45 metre line. That ball's going over to the far side of the field, in between two players, but luckily enough there's no one from Kinawley to break that down, and it's Neil Gallagher breaking inside the 45. That ball's kicked in. Dara O'Cahan snuffs it out, and now Kinawley with a chance to break, so this will be interesting to see. I have to say that Kinawley, I've been quite impressed with how Kinawley have gone from defence into attack, John, and they really are utilising the kick passing on that far side of the field, couldn't get it away.
What are you at?
Yeah, Tomas Corrigan's gone to ground, but now it's Garvin McGinley who's playing away onto that far side of the field, gives it to Lee Jones. Lee Jones, two Derrygonnelly players in space. That's a good pass. Ronan McHugh, there's a goal on here. McHugh looking, he's going to go for the goal, gives it the elevation, got in and over that there, but that's gone over the bar. Lee Jones done well to spot the space that Ronan McHugh was in there, because Dara O'Cahan had come out of the Kinawley defence. He was actually going into the forward line more, so that left a big gap which Ronan McHugh was able to make use of, and ball over the bar. Now it's a draw game.
There's the draw game, and Thomas Corrigan appears to be gone here at this stage. He seems to have went over on his ankle.
Yeah.
He about to deliver that ball, he slipped.
Kinawley.
The ankle all right.
Kinawley have been quite unfortunate because they have lost.
They don't want to be losing a like him at this stage of the game, anyway.
No. Coming on, it's going to be number 19, and number 19 is it's Aaron McHugh who's coming on for Kinawley. So Aaron McHugh is replacing Tomas Carrigan. It's really forced the Kinawley management into 2 quick changes a lot earlier than they would have been expecting.
Central positions as well.
Pile up going in round midfield. Dermot Love's going to throw it in between the 2 teams. So it's Kieran Breen and Ryan Jones in at midfield. Going to be going for this here. Away we go again. That's broken down. It's come to Eamon McHugh onto the far side of the field. Found himself in piles of room and the ball come down into him.
Yeah,
bit of experience. You talk about it again, John.
Yeah.
Done well from Lee Jones because he was able to turn back. That ball was going away from him. He releases Gareth McGinn. He gets away from the challenge, heading towards the far side of the field, and that's Paul Breen, who has done well and has had quite a good game. McGinley's onto the ground, and there's 2 Kinawley players. Eventually referee Dermot Love gives a free. I couldn't see Gareth McGinney getting away from that, so I couldn't see any other alternative, only it was going to be free for Kinawley. That's Sean McManus breaking round the challenge. He's looking to deliver the first time ball, and it was the new man. Oh, that's coming to Owen McManus. Here's another chance for Kinawley. Here's the chance of it. Oh, fist into the net, and it's the new man who is Aaron McHugh who finishes that ball to the net. It was the ball in from Sean McManus. It just got through the Derrygonnelly defence, and it was picked up by Owen McManus, and this time they didn't make the mistake, John. They timed the pass well and ended up with the open goal.
That's the way goals are scored now, mostly.
Fisted to the net? Yeah, that's right. As Aaron Jones goes to ground, gets us free from referee Dermot Love, and that's going to be taken by Lee Jones. He gives it to Neil Gallagher. Now the scoreline reading 1-5 to 5 points in this Players' Championship Division 1A final. That ball was going into Connell Jones, but Niall Bogue was able to cut that out. He's subsequently fouled, and it's going to be a free, which Bogue himself will take. Talking about experience, John, he's an experienced man there.
Well, Theo where he went across that ball there, just picking it up.
Yeah.
But
that's been
Kinawley badly wanted that goal there because they were slipping a bit at that stage.
They were, because it
looked as if they were under a bit of pressure there.
Now away we go again, and it is into the hands of Lee Jones. He gives it over here to Aaron Jones, and Derrygonnelly on the attack, breaking inside the Kinawley side of the field. Back to Lee Jones again. He was looking to deliver it first time, but the entire Derrygonnelly forward line has come out, because here's their full forward. Connell Jones gives a lovely ball in here to Rian McGovern, and McGovern spinning around on the right foot kicks that ball over the bar. They were able to adapt to the situation, because Connell Jones had come out that time and was able to direct his pass nicely into Ryan McGovern, who got spinning around on the right foot and over the bar, and the scoreline now reads
didn't solo and figure about it the ball. He just stuck it over the bar, and that was it.
1-5 to 6 points here in Brewster Park, and you're watching this live on Fermanagh GA TV in association with Monaghan Brothers. That kick out from Owen Mullanaphy and Ronan McHugh, number 10, was adjudged to have fouled Paul Breen, and referee Dermot Love has now he's putting some of the Derrygonnelly management out to the stand. No, Dermot Love's taking no nonsense, John.
No nonsense. You shouldn't have to either.
Right. And the game's underway again. That's Darragh O'Cahan picking that ball up, giving it to Tom Keenan. Derrygonnelly are putting the press on here, but Keenan with the left-footed ball over to Sean McManus. McManus has had Darragh O'Cahan, gets a lovely pass away, and now here's Kinawley in for the second chance. Going to fist the ball that's going into the net, and that was Lorcan again. You're talking, John, about how that score finishes. You can see that coming, because I don't think that Darragh O'Cahan was going to back himself to kick that. The angle was too tight.
Well, I was thinking he was at that tight angle, he was going to fist it over the bar.
That's right.
I was sure he was going to fist it over the bar, but there you go.
Another goal for Kinawley. They scored 4 against Tempo last week, John. They scored 2 the week before, so Kinawley scoring goals is not a new thing. That was a late challenge from Ryan Jones, who challenged Tom Keenan. Keenan had caught that ball, called his mark, and Ryan Jones come in late on Tom Keenan there. I would think that referee Dermot Love is going to give a yellow card, although he's Yeah, it is a yellow card. Yellow card for Ryan Jones as this second half goes toward, or this first half going towards the end. It's going to be a free kick for Kinawley. It's just inside the 45-metre line. Going to be the left-footed kicker again. Who's going to take this?
He's left-footed out this time too, so he is.
It's been moved. It's been moved in.
Yeah.
In fact. And it's Paul Breen again. He missed this. He missed one earlier on, which was possibly it was closer in anyway. Probably a similar enough angle.
Yeah, just see a Kinawley man at last moving to the right-hand post here in the goal mouth. You usually get a kick like this swinging back into this near post.
So here is Paul Breen lining up to take this. 5 points between the teams. He has takes his time on the kick anyway, and here comes Paul Breen. That's not going to bend back in either. It's going to drop short, in fact.
Exactly.
It's going for a 45. It's gone for a 45, so it's a 45 going to be for Kinawley, just 5 metres to the left-hand side of the goals, which gives them another chance, and it's the goalkeeper Owen Mullanaphy who is lining up to take this, John.
Well, it surely has the distance anyway. There's the accuracy, surely has the distance. His kick outs there were coming, whether he wanted to put them out long or he could put them there, but
those 2 frees from Paul Breen, they haven't bent back in for him, so something for Kinawley to work on as they go towards the rest of their league and then the championship.
Probably if it's closer to goal, so he'd have been getting both of them, but that's it.
Goalkeeper Owen Mullanaphy lining this up. Oh, he's going to take it off the right foot. You're right, he definitely has the distance and he has got the accuracy. Scoreline now reads 2-6 to Kinawley, 6 points to Derrygonnelly, and there's 2 clear goals between the teams.
Nice lead to have at any stage in the game.
But midfield, John, Kinawley have been breaking down the ball quite a lot, and they've been that bit hungry maybe on the breaks too.
They're afraid of Ryan catching. Here he goes this time. It's knocked down again for him.
Broken down again. That was Tom Keenan giving the ball over to Aaron O'Reilly. I certainly have been quite impressed with their kicking of the ball and how they spread the play. That's going to land into Owen McManus. Dennis Green's in there too. He's nearly bundled out over the line. Referee Dermot Love says that was a foul. So Dennis Green has this free kick inside his own 14-metre line. He gives it to the centre half back, Aidan McKenna. McKenna now over here to Aaron Jones. Ronan McHugh's along this line as well. Back to the centre half back, Aidan McKenna. Now it's Garvin McGinney. He's coming that bit later. Gets away from the challenge of Tom Keenan. He spreads that over to the far side of the field. And Derrygonnelly are on the march on that far side of the field. It's their midfielder, Rian McGovern, and now it's into the hands of Lee Jones. Brits inside the 45-metre line, gives it to Ryan Jones, gets away from those challenges, slips the ball nicely onto the right foot, and that's the 3rd point for Ryan Jones.
That's a very good score there. You're surrounded by 3 Kinawley players and they're all having a pull of him here and there, and he was
able to keep going. I think the strength kept him going, and then the experience made him find that bit of space just to get the better angle and chip that ball over the bar, because all of the scores that Ryan Jones has got, he's made them look easy, but that's only because he made them easy for himself.
Yes, exactly right.
Owen Mullanaphy with a high kick out here now, and it's Ronan McHugh who lets that ball go out, and the linesman, who is Michael Keown, he's signalling that to be a Derrygonnelly ball, and it's Ronan McHugh going in high between Dara O'Cahan and Conal Jones. O'Cahan catches that ball. Referee Dermot Love says that's the end of the first half. A first half, no doubt, that Kinawley and their management, John, will be happier.
Yes, it's just a little spell in the middle of that half there after the water break. They didn't seem to be on song, but look at. They're moving very well there to that first half, in the first 15 minutes, especially the last 10 there.
And that's also with the loss of Tomas Carrigan and with Acklin O'Cahan, two of the players down the spine of their team.
Yeah. No, Thomas would be a big loss to any team, in fairness to him now, but it seems just as he caught that ball, it came off his chest, and then we got it recovered then, and the pass then was poor because he was slipping at the time. And I'd say
He was, and maybe it was his losing his footing which done more harm. I would think that it's not serious, but with there still being 9 games of the season to go, there's no need for the teams to risk losing any players.
No.
So they have taken him off, and Kinawley are still doing quite well because they took him off and they brought on Aaron McHugh, and inside 30 seconds Aaron McHugh had a goal. So
some introduction to the young lad doing it.
And with that, we'll take a break on Fermanagh GAA TV. In association with Monaghan Brothers, we'll be back with full uninterrupted coverage of the second half here from Brewster Park in this Players Competition Division 1A final between Derrygonnelly Harps and Kinawley.
Are you ready for something new? The all-new Hyundai i20 mild hybrid is ready to keep you safe. Ready to connect. And with £1,500 towards your deposit and 4.8% APR representative, it's ready for you now. The beautifully designed Hyundai i20. Ready to impress.
Díríomh agus fáilte go sra uair nua go GAA Cool Camps. Is me se gráine blízel agus béimiise agus séir réalta móra ón CLG líbe méanach an skillan nua onaníochta agus pelle is fansfaid. Agus darnóid bé muid ag tuaircuairt ar Hailí tar fud na tíide. Mar sin seasaí suas, crahamach na machain agus mar san bhúil seachan na bunneogaí.
My name's Cian McMahon. I'm chairperson of St Patrick's Dona Fermanagh, and we're here tonight to take a look at our Dads and Lads group participating in a bit of recreational football. The idea of Dads and Lads football came from just a committee meeting looking at, we were starting our mothers and others, and we thought there's nothing there similar for fellas who used to play football or never accessed football, so we just thought we'd try something different and set it up from that. It's a recreational level. It's quite easy. It's very entry level, and we've honed it down, changed a few rules around to make it a bit more accessible. But it's all about having a bit of fun and inclusion. When we first set it up, a bit like that, I would have been playing senior football up to fairly recently, and I would have thought it would have been about people like myself, and that's who we sort of thought would come to it. But what we have found is it's people like myself mixed in with some people who have never played the game, some people who maybe only played it up to youth levels, and some people who, for different reasons, just didn't want to, or from different backgrounds, and they have found it as an entry level to the GAA as well. So it's opened it up as well to a lot of other people. I would love to see it roll out. Do you know what I mean? I'd love to see it in other clubs and having sort of wee mini games against each other, and I do know there's a number of the other Fermanagh clubs that approached us and asked us a wee bit about it, so that I think would be great. I'd love to see it going nationally. I think there's a huge space there for it, and I can only see positives in it, to be honest. I don't see any negatives.
The referee Dermot Love immediately from the throw-up adjusts, he adjudicates that the Kinawley man who was their midfielder Gabriel McHugh overcarried, gives the free to Derrygonnelly, but Kinawley have immediately overturned it, so anyone who thought that they were unfairly done, they'll see that as justice being done now, because that's Liam Owens giving it to Paul Breen, who definitely had one of the best games in the first half in my opinion. Giving it over to Sean McManus onto that far side of the field. I thought he was going to give the pass, swings it back on the right foot, kicking that in, and that's gone over the bar. And Sean McManus has also had quite a good game as well, John.
And that's some start to second half for him as well.
6 to 7 points was the half-time score. With that now it's 2-7 to 7, 2 goals between the teams. Those goals came from number 19, who was Aaron McHugh, and the second goal came from number 10, Lorcan McKenna. They were really carbon copies of it, where one player carried the ball in and fisted it across the field to give it an easy opportunity to put into the net. That was a high ball going into Connell Jones, but Kinawley have done well to snuff that out. Now it's number 17, Ben Corrigan. He has got Garvin McGinn. He gets away from those challenges and gets the ball to Paul Breen. Ben Corrigan now, and it's Paul Breen who's breaking inside the 65-metre line. He's been hassled from Lee Jones and over there as well. He's also got support from Lorcan McKenna. Now it's their wing half back Roy McAloon, and that's into the that's into their corner forward Tom Keenan, kicking that ball in. That's gone wide. So 2 attacks in this start of the second half for Kinawley, 1 point, and that ball ended up going wide. The Derrygonnelly goalkeeper, they've had a mixture of short and long. You kind of get the feeling, John, that they're under pressure on their own kick out.
Just when you're talking about the last score, Ryan Jones fiddled a lovely ball on the far side to start that Derrygonnelly attack, and
yeah. So half time in the Division 2A final, and the game between Derry and St Pat's, it's 1-2, which is 5 points for Derry and 9 points for St Pat's. That game's been played in Lisnaskea, and it's in the Division 2 final. And now here's a chance for Derrygonnelly. Connell Jones breaking inside. He's gone to the edge of the square, but the high solo has got the ball's got away from him, and that's been picked up now. And Kinawley with the opportunity to break out. It's over there with Rory McAloon. He gives it to Paul Breen, and it's back to McAloon, and Tom Keenan's in there as well. There was definitely a chance of a score, if maybe not a goal, John, but the high solo went away, and now it's Kinawley again with a chance. That's number 19, who is he's Aaron McHugh on the left foot, going to drop in short. It's flicked down from Owen McManus, and Derrygonnelly are picking it up again. Now it's Garvin. He's got a wee bit loose, John, maybe.
It has got a bit loose, yeah, but that knocked ball away from Connell Jones when he was going through there. He was expecting down the Liam Owens again. You know, just waited down to solo a ball and knocked it away.
And in that there, Kinawley have forced Derrygonnelly to overcarry, and now it's going to be a free in for Kinawley. The right-footed free taker of Tomas Carrigan is not on the field, so it's going to be Sean McManus who is lining up to take this just outside the 21-metre line. Angle will suit the right-footed kicker though.
Again, yeah.
And we were talking about conditions. There's a bit of breeze, but not enough really to make a
he's kicking it into this stage now. He's kicking into the breeze here at this stage.
Take on that in. It's just going to go wide on his own side.
Yeah.
Goalkeeper's looking to take this short. Kinawley with the only score so far in this second half. Scoreline remains 2-7 to 7 points, and that ball has been won by Neil Gallagher. I think from Derrygonnelly's perspective, they are going to want to win a series of kickouts to just get their momentum going, John, because they have been kind of caught on the hop a wee bit in this game.
They have, yeah, but we'll see how good they are to come back, and we'll see how good Kinawley are to hold on, because
well, if they are going to come back, I'm sure a goal is going to be one of the things that they need.
Yeah.
There's a lot of hope. There's a lot of hope.
There's a lot of mess
in front of a linesman.
The sort of there feels a bit of messing going on here now at the minute, which is no advantage to anyone.
It's definitely not a challenge game anyway, John. So it's not.
It's not. It's not where the linesman has got the.
The linesman seems to be trying to deal with himself, and it's not really the linesman has to inform the referee.
Yeah.
And this happened.
I was coming to now. The ref's coming.
Yeah, referee Dermot Love is coming over here. It's two players. It's Garvin McGinley and Ben Corrigan, who were involved in that.
There was no punches struck around.
No, there was no punches, but holding.
Yeah. And there's another Derrygonnelly man entered down the far side here. A lot of injuries this evening, isn't there?
A lot of players have needed. There's a lot of players have needed attention. We have had two Kinawley players who have had to go on, and there's been.
This Derrygonnelly man's coming off too, so yes.
Yeah, I think that's Neil Gallagher.
It's like him, yeah.
Neil Gallagher, and that's a yellow card for Garvin McGinley.
What did he do there? Because we missed the correct down here.
Well, this was this challenge that happened here, but I mean, Garvin McGinley had his hand on Ben Corrigan's throat. We could see it from our position.
Yeah.
So could liven up the crowd anyway, John, if it's nothing else. The game will continue. It's going to be a free which Conall Jones is going to take on that far side of the field, well, from his right foot. Neil Gallagher is coming off the field slowly. He does seem to
definitely an ankle injury, looks at that.
Possibly, John. It's a lot of these teams have had a couple of games in a row, 3 to 4 weeks in a row, and maybe it's just those accumulative niggles coming together.
But you know, it's hard to believe, even after yesterday's rain and so forth, the ground is pretty hard.
The ground's still pretty hard, that's right, yeah. And that's Stephen Gilroy who's going to be coming on to replace replace Aidan Gallagher, or Neil Gallagher. So the game will continue with Conall Jones on that far side of the field. Not the easiest kick, but it's definitely one that Derrygonnelly will require.
I'll point this, I'd say.
I was going to say, not that it's not in Conall Jones' ability to score that, which he does, and gets Derrygonnelly back onto the scoreboard into this second half, and now it's 2-7 to Kinawley, 8 points to Derrygonnelly, 13 points for Kinawley and 8 points Derrygonnelly, 5 points between the teams. That 2-goal lead, I'm sure Kinawley are going to want to protect that as much as they can. They can't concede a goal.
They can't concede a goal, but at the same time they shouldn't be stopped scored at the other end.
Yeah, kick out. Milan, if he was going to go long, ended up going short. You can't give it back. That should not. That's the Derrygonnelly substitutes are very unhappy, and eventually it was given a free. But that is correct. You cannot give you can't give the. If the goalkeeper takes it short, you cannot give it back to the referee, or you can't give it back to the goalkeeper.
Don't for the life of me know how the referee can remember all the things that he has to remember, as well as taking abuse from the sideline, etc., etc.
Well, it is going to continue with a free in for Derrygonnelly. That is keeping with the rules, and it's going to be Conall Jones. He's after kicking a more difficult one. That's a simpler one over the bar. Now it's 2-7 to 9 points. There's only 4 points between the teams, John. And now you would think that Kinawley are somewhat coming under the cosh.
Compared to the course, yeah. Maybe from free kick situations and what have you, you know.
Long kick out now, and it's two Kinawley players going up for it. The ball's broken down. Where in the first half it was nearly two Derrygonnelly players, and Kinawley were doing well to break it down. Derrygonnelly now are getting back into this game well. That's Lee Jones. He's giving it now to Rian McGovern, and now it's to Aidan McKenna, who gives it to Connell Jones. He's got Garvin McGinley inside. Jones did well because Tom Keenan was holding his arm there. Now it's Garvin McGinley on the 13-metre line. Back to Rian McGovern. Kinawley with a lot of players back. They shouldn't really give Derrygonnelly a scoring opportunity. Connell Jones goes to ground, gives it over here to Garvin McGinley, who feeds it to Ryan Jones. Can he work a scoring position from here on the left foot? Giving it, that's into Lee Jones is battling for that now. He's giving it the right foot. It's hit the side netting and it's gone out for a 45. But that shot from Ryan Jones, he was taking it off his weaker left hand side, ended up landing short. Lee Jones got it, did well, spun around, took a shot, and then it was blocked down, and it's going to be a 45 for Derrygonnelly. And Derrygonnelly have been really laying siege to the Kinawley goals here, Joan.
Well, there's one man that I have my eye on since he didn't take his opportunity up at the top, because he's an out-and-out defender. He gathered up that last loose ball.
That's Eamon McHugh. Yeah.
And he's in a happier position than he is there now. He's.
So here is Connell Jones lining up to get his third point in a row. This is from the 45.
I'd say he'll get it too.
Gets quite a good connection, but it's going to tail away, and that has gone wide. So the scoreline remains 9 points to Derrygonnelly, 2-7 to Kinawley. 4 points between the teams as we approach 10 minutes played in the second half here in Brewster Park in this Players Competition Division 1A final between Derrygonnelly Harps and Kinawley. Division 1B final will be on tomorrow night on Fermanagh GEA TV. Ger Tracy will bring you through that game, so make sure to tune in. That's Eamon McHugh picking that up. He has got advantage. He's playing the advantage. He's got the ball back again, but he's going to be met. That was a hard hit. Gabriel McHugh. Neither of them didn't give an inch there, Joan.
No, but when we were prepared to take the knock out and get up and go.
Yeah, and the ball is spilled away, and it's going.
He was changed the game a lot there in loose play and right in the middle, and breaking ball and what have you. So. There's a bit of a pulling match going on over there. Referee Dermot Love is going in. I think he's just telling them he probably is going to do a bit of booking here. Oh, no.
Not entirely sure which, probably going to be one from either team. No, he's calling over the Kinawley wing half back, who's Rory McAloon. Eventually, these yellow cards, someone's going to get a second yellow, Joan.
It's looking very like it. The game is getting a wee bit.
That's a red card.
Yeah. There was a punch through in there.
Must have been, yeah, must have been. And Rory McAloon has got a red card. For Kinawley to be 4 points up in this final, for one of their players to throw a punch and to be sent off. Play is going to continue anyway. I would have thought if there was a punch that it should have been a Derrygonnelly free, but it's going to continue with the sideline, which has been kicked long. That's Dara O'Cahain. Couldn't get hit. He shouldered Michael Jones in the chest. If he could have got his ball away, if he could have got his pass away, there was two Derrygonnelly players in a lot of space, but referee Dermot Love says play away, and now it is the midfielder who has been dragged to the ground, and that was Kieran Breen. It's going to be a free in, which Connell Jones is taking on the 65-metre line, kicking that ball in, and that's their corner forward, who is Gavin McGovern. Spills away from him, and it's Connell Jones again. He is under pressure from Liam Owens, gets away from that there, gets his free, and he's kicking the ball in first time on the right foot. That is kicked in, and that's over the bar. And now it's just a 3-point game, John. If you were going to be putting at the minute, your money would be on Derrygonnelly because of the way they've come back in. You know,
they're going through a very poor period here now at the minute, and you know, I said earlier, if they're going to start to defend and lead that they had, I wouldn't be agreeing with it.
No, it's just too early to be doing that.
Yeah.
They could just need to win the ball at midfield. That was Paul Breen, couldn't get it. Now that's Dennis Green. He's gone to ground, and referee Dermot Love has ruled it as a He's ruled it as a foul on Dennis Green. Lee Jones take that quickly, giving it to Aidan McKenna. Now it's back to Dennis Green as well. He's breaking forward, looking for someone to give the ball to. And the ball got away from Conall Jones. That's Gabriel McHugh now, who kind of slowed up, but I think Kinawley could do with trying to get out of their own defence, because they have been camped in there for the last 10 minutes.
There's an interception there because Conall Jones was on his way through if he won that ball.
That's Tom Keenan spinning away from that challenge, but it was well done. And Derrygonnelly now, Ben Corrigan, who swung
for the line here.
Yeah, well, at the same, he put his arm, he had the arm around his neck, and pulled him down. I would say it wasn't for the malice in the challenge, but. Referee Dermot Love is talking to Ben Corrigan over there, who has come on, had quite a good game. Yeah, it's turned out to be a yellow card. As I say, he took his arm around the neck of Eamon McHugh, I think it is, over there, and took him down to the ground. It certainly looked worse maybe than what it actually was, Joan, but
still have to ask the question, what is a black card? I thought that was a complete drag down.
Although arm around the neck tends to be a yellow card as well. Although when you put the two of them together, that's sort of how it is. Kinawley's discipline really is letting them down a wee bit, because for them to be so far ahead, they're really, with fouling and getting players between cards and getting sent off, they're letting Derrygonnelly back into this here. 2-7 to 10 points, 3 points between the teams, and Derrygonnelly again, who, credit to them, at half time they were 5 points behind. They have rallied in this second half, and they have been putting Kinawley under a lot of pressure. And
Kinawley certainly would not want to concede a goal here at this stage.
No, definitely not. I was just about to say that one of the players for Derrygonnelly who has led that charge was Conall Jones. He had 2 points in a row. He has been vital to any of the scores they've been getting. Now it's the second half water break, and I would think the Kinawley management would be very glad to get their players in, to have a word with them, remind them that there's 3 points in front.
I can see the reappearance of Thomas Corrigan here, maybe.
Yes, Fred, we've seen him. He was carrying the water in there. He's going out to talk to some of the players.
Yeah, I think that man is ready to come on again. And he's going to have to come on, because they're going through a sticky patch here at the minute.
They're going to need somewhere in and around midfield, because in that third quarter, John, Kinawley were cleaned out in midfield. It was nearly a role reversal of the first half, where in the first half Kinawley were there was 2 Derrygonnelly men jumping and 1 Kinawley man to break it down. It's kind of gone the other way.
It's gone the other way, but I suppose any young team is built on leaders and leadership, and Ryan Jones is showing a bit of leadership there tonight now.
And Conall Jones as well, and Eamon McHugh.
The three established men for a long time. And it takes that in the situation that Kinawley's in. It takes them, you know.
For the Derrygonnelly management, they're bound to be happy with how that third quarter went. They got 4 points in that third quarter to 1 point for Kinawley. There's 3 points between the teams as we're approaching. There's 15 minutes left to play, and from the Derrygonnelly management, they will be saying keep going, because they do have Kinawley rattled and on the ropes here. And you were just saying there, John, if Derrygonnelly can get a goal.
If Derrygonnelly get a goal, in other words, if Kinawley concede a goal, it's
that's going to be a big turning point.
It's a big turning point, and a lot of things happen after the water break at stages. And Thomas is still not going on.
No, he's not going on just yet. But the Kinawley discipline has let themselves down here to have 1 player sent off. Some of the tackling has been very rash.
Some of the dragging, you know, look at both teams were said originally they want to win the thing, and that's good preparation for them later on.
The winners, so what the meaning of this competition, the winners of this game will begin the Senior League proper with 3 points. The defeated team will have 2 points, and the third place team from each of the divisions will also get 3 points. So for this 1A, it's Edinburgh who start off with 1 point as we approach the Senior League Division 1. and that was caught by Owen McManus, and it's exactly what we said Kinawley needed, John, was to win the ball.
Nice clean catch. I see another mark up there. Ian McHugh has gone on till young Keenan. So
and that was one of the things that happened last year when Kinawley played Derrygonnelly in the championship. Tom Keenan, who had been playing quite well, was completely marked out of it. So that's what Derrygonnelly are trying to do again, is keep young Keenan out of the game. That ball got away from the hands of Paul Breen. It's going to be a sideline ball which Ryan Jones is going to take. It's just outside his own 45, giving it to his midfield colleague, who is Rian McGovern, and now it's into the hands of Lee Jones, who has got his hands on a lot of ball, John, and is one of the more experienced Derrygonnelly players. He's one of their good ball carriers as well. Onto that far side of the field, it's Lee Jones who is leading Sean McManus down. McManus gets a hand in. The ball has come now to Ronan McHugh. McHugh is bottled up. Referee Dermot Love has indicated that it's going to be a free for Derrygonnelly, I think. It's going to be a free in, John.
It looks, and it'll suit Colin Jones here again on this left hand side.
Now Kinawley making a change here, and they're bringing on number 17, who is Cahir Hamilton, and they're bringing on number 27, who is Cahir Hamilton. They're taking off number 17, Ben Corrigan. Ben Corrigan got his yellow card. He was lucky that it wasn't worse, John.
Yeah.
So it's good management to take those players off. That's Connell Jones on the right foot, kicking that in, and it's gone wide. And I think Derrygonnelly could have done with that as well, just to get them back into the game, because now it's in a very even position, and you kind of feel whoever gets the next score has the ability to build up a bit of momentum. Substitution coming on for Derrygonnelly. They're bringing off Garvin McGinley, who was also carrying a yellow card. So what?
He was also injured down the bottom goal zone in the first half.
Yeah, what the Kinawley management do, the Derrygonnelly management can do just as well. That high ball is going out, and it's been picked up by Eamon McHugh. That player that we talked about, John, has really turned it in the second half. He tries to give a ball to Ryan Jones. So the final pass from Derrygonnelly has not gone to hand every time, and now that's given Sean McManus an opportunity. He gives that ball in. It was looking for Aidan. He was looking for Aaron McHugh, slips away through him, and now that was Aaron Jones who was down, and between Aaron McHugh and number 5, who is Aaron O'Reilly, they were able to pressurise Aaron Jones, and it's going to be a free in. They were trying to take it quick. Referee Dermot Love says just not that quick, and he's taking it back. It's on the 21 metre line, midway between the goals and the sideline, which would suit a left-footed kicker, but I think it's going to be Sean McManus taking this off the right, so it's a tight angle. It's tough ask, John. Tough,
yeah.
But it's one Kinawley could be doing with. They only scored 1 point so far in the second half, which was quite early on. McManus kicking that in, and it's gone over the bar. That's a good score.
Yep.
The pressure was on for that.
Badly needed there now.
Badly needed. Kick out from Derrygonnelly goes short. They can afford to do that because they're playing with 15 men against the 14 of Derrygonnelly now, and it's Dennis Green breaking forward. Tom Keenan coming to put pressure on him, giving it to Ryan Jones. Ryan Jones has got Tom Keenan. He's also got Kieran Breen coming to him now, gives it to Dennis Green, and now it's Aidan McKenna, the centre half back, gives it to Connell Jones. Jones gets away from the challenge of Paul Breen on the right foot. That ball's going to go wide. That's gone wide, and the scoreline remains 2-8 to Kinawley, 10 points to Derrygonnelly. 2-8 is 14 points to 10, 4 points between the teams. We're into the final quarter, there are about 10 minutes to go, John. Still anyone's game.
Still anyone's game. Kinawley will see themselves that they're slipping behind there, but they've resurrected the thing, and I'd still take them out for a holdout.
Goalkeeper Owen Milanoff, he's going long here. It's in between Owen McManus, and now it's bounced into the hands of Tom Keenan. Not for the first time the ball's gone over midfield, and that was Eamon McHugh who pulled Tom Keenan to the ground. Keenan looking to kick that ball short, and it's gone very, very poorly, and it's been picked up now by Ronan McHugh, and that has given Derrygonnelly an opportunity to break on that far side of the field. It's their midfielder, and that's Oisin Smith. He gives it to Conall Jones. Jones trying to get inside the 45, giving it to one of the substitutes. I think it's young Gilroy. Gilroy gives it back to Conall Jones, going to take that on the left foot. The angle was not good, and that's his weaker foot. Gets that ball over the bar. It's a good finish, John.
Good finish, yeah. Oh, he's a night leader there tonight now for Derrygonnelly.
2-8 to 11 points, 3 points between the teams. Just in that instance there, Tom Keenan had won us free, and he was trying to take it quick. There definitely was the opportunity to find a player in space on that far side of the field. It was just the execution which let him down.
There's not much congestion, not as bad this time for this kick out, but there's not much congestion around the middle of the field there now that anybody's liable to get a breaking ball.
Going long, and it's Owen McManus who does well. That was Gabriel McHugh going for it, but it's Eamon McHugh. He was looking to get away without a yellow card.
He was.
And he gives it now here, and it's battling hard. That was picked up off the ground from Oisin Smith. Gabriel McHugh was challenging him, but referee Dermot Love says it's going to be a free to Kinawley. It was definitely picked up off the ground.
Yeah.
I don't know about the overcarrying, but
in fairness to him, he was not outside the play. The referee just let him in front of him. We could have better views than he had. But
a couple of substitutes coming on here now. It's Danny McGovern is coming on for Kinawley, and he is replacing the midfielder, who's Gabriel McHugh. He's put in a big shift today.
Yeah, he has indeed. Yeah.
So from updating the scoreline in the other game, Stirling 1-3, St Pat's 3-15. So St Pat's have really took a stranglehold in that game in the Division 2A final, which is taking place in Lisnaskea. From that free kick, I think it went to number 10, who's Lorcan McKenna, and the ball is the free for Kinawley, John?
Yeah.
So Kinawley are going to have another free. I suppose these things can take the momentum out of the game a wee bit, and
look, it's not. The second half hasn't produced what we had in the first half. It was a good open game in the first half, with plenty of good skillful play. Second half hasn't been the same at all.
So it's in the hands of Sean McManus, and he's one of the players for Kinawley who has really steadied the game. And that is over as far as Cahir Hamilton, as his first touch of the game, giving it over here to Tom Keenan. Keenan giving it to their midfielder Kieran Breen. He's one of their leaders as well. Now it's over there to Aaron McHugh. McHugh was spinning around. The shot wasn't on, and now Kinawley are going to recycle the ball, hold possession. Now it's over here with Paul Breen. He's got Niall Bogue as well. Derrygonnelly with everyone back. Now it's Danny McGovern inside the 45 midline, gives it to Niall Bogue. Neither of these players are recognised score takers. McGovern with a chance, giving it to Sean McManus. Angle wasn't good, not much space either, but that ball has gone wide. It's gone wide, so it's still a 3-point game here in Enniskillen in Brewster Park, in this Players Championship Division, Players League Division 1A final between Kinawley and Derrygonnelly Harps. Kick out goes over to Conall Jones. He's getting away from the challenge of Owen McManus. Now it's gone to Sean McManus. The goalkeeper's out of his goals. It's Owen McManus breaking inside here. Now if Kinawley can get a goal, it's going to finish it as McManus gets inside, trying to find Aaron McHugh. But Derrygonnelly got the cover back, and I do think, John, that Kinawley, through their own play, they spurned an opportunity of a goal there. Well, never mind a goal, even a score.
Yeah,
and it was a score was possibly what they'd wanted.
I think they were.
For Derrygonnelly, I'm sure.
Look at that there.
The linesman has seen that there. Yeah. I didn't see. It's number 10, who's Lorcan
we'll
McKenna.
see what happens before we make any comment on it. But
it's Lorcan McKenna's definitely on there.
Ryan Jones.
Lorcan McKenna is the Kinawley player who's on the ground. Now it's Ryan Jones is having a word with the linesman. Dermot Love's over there as well. It's a red card for Ryan Jones. No matter what happened on the field, I would think the conversation with the linesman would have been enough to get him sent off, Joan. And now it's 14 plays 14 here in this Division 1A Players Championship Players League final. 3 points between the teams, so Derrygonnelly are still quite alive here.
Yeah, there's still a bit more action here going on. Throw up ball.
It'll be a throw up ball. It's going to be a throw up, so it's 14 against 14 again, and it's referee Dermot Love who's going to throw this ball up. It's Owen McManus and the midfielder, who is Oisin Smith, going for it now. It's coming to the hands of Eamon McHugh. McHugh under pressure, giving it over here as players in a bit of trouble, but it's Aaron McHugh who picks that ball up, giving it to Tom Keenan. Now it's over here to Aaron, to Lorcan McKenna, and McKenna gives it to Niall Bowe. Kinawley with plenty of players and a lot of space and the onus isn't really on them to get a score. At the same time, John, they can hold on here because they have a 3-point lead. Now it's come into the hands of Paul Breed, fist the ball over the bar for a simple point to put 4 points between the teams again. 2-9 is 15, plays 11 points, and Kinawley with 4 points between the teams. We're down to injury time here. That was done well by Ronan McHugh because Lorcan McKenna was coming at him. He's still under pressure, but McHugh is a strong, powerful runner. He's kept on going, done well. Referee Dermot Love says play away, and eventually Lorcan McKenna's persistence pays off, turns over the ball, and now Kinawley with an opportunity to break up this side of the field. That's Liam Owens. Kieran Breen running the lane with him. The pass goes to Tom Keenan. Keenan giving it to Kieran Breen. Breen gives the ball, he kicked the ball, I think it might have come off the Derrygonnelly forward, and it's going to be
Robert's going to be booked here.
And Eamon McHugh was very lucky to escape a yellow card earlier on. I think it seemed he's going to get a booking for something that happened after the ball went away.
He met Liam Owens come up the sideline here, as much as he said shots not pass. But here,
and it's a yellow card. So from the resultant, there's a lot of holding going on here now, John. The discipline on both of the teams is kind of come away a wee bit.
Well, I think it proves a point that they both are keen to win it, so there you go.
This is Dennis Green, who was hit by Niall Bowe. Green does well to hold on to the ball. That's a shot going in from Derrygonnelly. That could be going over the bar. That was a good score. Brings it back to 3 points, and Derrygonnelly now one score behind. Just one goal between the teams.
After getting in sort of an insurance score a few minutes ago, they're back to defend again.
So Kinawley 2-9, Derrygonnelly 12 points, 15 against 12 in this game here in Enniskillen. Goalkeeper Owen Mullanaphy going long. It's between Cahir Hamilton and Dennis Green, and Owen McManus picks it up. Michael Jones coming to him. McManus gets away from that, but Jones does well. Now it's blown as a free for. It's going to be a free for Kinawley. Referee Dermot Love is calling Dennis Green over to him and the Kinawley player. Bit of afters going on after the ball had got away, so Dermot Love has got a bit more cards to give out. It's going to be 2 yellows, I would think, for both of the players. So Dennis Green and Cahir Hamilton with yellow. 2 more players with yellow cards. I've lost count of the number of players who have cards. I can only hope Dermot Love has kept a record of it all. That's goalkeeper Owen Mullanaphy's come out of his goals to give the Kinawley players a bit of support. Derrygonnelly hunting in packs here. The 4 forwards are working hard. Now it's Sean McManus. He's got 3 immediate Derrygonnelly players around him. Referee Dermot Love gives him a free. Could have went either way.
Yeah, could have went either way.
And now Kinawley are breaking on that far side of the field. It's their corner back, Liam Owens. He's going forward. Tom Keenan moved out of the road to give him a place to run into. Owens is still going forward. In the first half, he run the entire field to kick the ball over the bar. That was bravely done by Aidan McKenna. Gets his pass away too. And now Dennis Green, Derrygonnelly have an opportunity to move forward here now, because they have given it to their midfielder, who's Ryan McGovern. Ronan McHugh was challenged late there, and now it's Dennis Green who started the move. He's going forward with an opportunity here. There's a chance of a goal if Derrygonnelly can get it. That was blocked down. It was Gavin McGovern with that shot, and Derrygonnelly still have it on the right foot. That's kicked in. I think that's going to go over the bar. 2 points between the teams, John. We're down to the last couple of minutes. This is very intense.
The last man to defend there was an experienced man, Niall Bowe, who put the block in there. And there's
He was
crucial
just
at that
able to
stage.
get his body in between
Yeah,
the attacker and the goal to take the sting out of that shot. But Derrygonnelly, let's not forget, are only 2 points behind. You definitely would not put it past them getting a goal before the end of this game. It could be a smash and grab job. Let's see how it goes. The kick out from Owen Milan if he goes long, and that's Owen McManus raising hay like your boy Glass from Derry. He's high above everyone else, and now that's into the hands of Aaron McHugh kicking that ball. That's a wasted ball in there because Derrygonnelly have enough players back there, and it's now into the hands of Dennis Green. He's after doing he's away on another lung busting run. He was been fouled, but Dennis Green, look at the speed of him, he's away there. Connell Jones getting round one challenger, trying to drag him down, but Jones keeps on going. He's a player in support, and now Derrygonnelly are breaking forward. That's Gavin McGovern. He's after kicking the last score. Done well. Now it's into the hands of, it's back to Lee Jones. Still a point, still a good score. The ball's going to drop short. There's danger here, and that was fisted in by Connell Jones, but Kinawley have players back. The goalkeeper come out, and now it's into the hands of Danny McGovern. He's gone to ground. Referee Dermot Love checks his watch, blows the full-time whistle, and that's it. The final score here in Brewster Park is Kinawley 2-9, Derrygonnelly 13 points. Derrygonnelly definitely had a sting in their tail at the end of that, John, and they were threatening the goal. It just didn't go their way, but they were dangerous.
They surely tried to a bit of rain there, and also with it, and that's a call credit to champions of the boat who have been champions for so many years. And
it's like experience that they have, and possibly after winning the amount of championships that they have won in the last 10 years, there's an attitude in them that we do not want to be beaten.
No. Well,
and the capability to know that they can come back into it. But it's Kinawley's day. They win the game with 2 points between the teams. 2-9 was 15 points, 13 to Derrygonnelly.
Fully deserved.
Kinawley, the 2 goals in the first half, John, that we were talking about.
Yeah.
In the second half, Kinawley got 3 points, whereas Derrygonnelly it was 6 to 7 points at half time, so Derrygonnelly probably had the better play in the second half. The sending off of Ryan Jones wouldn't have helped them, although I'm sure Kinawley will argue that the sending off of their player didn't help their sending off from, it was their number 5 it wasn't their number 5, it was their number 7, Rory McAloon, who got sent off indeed.
If Derrygonnelly and Kinawley would happen to meet in the championship, I think it'd be worth a visit.
So we will move to take the presentation of this plaque for the Players League Division 1A final, which was won by Kinawley. We'll be moving to the Fermanagh County Board Chairman Greg Kelly, who will take you through the presentation of this cup to the Kinawley captain. It was definitely Kieran Breen who took the toss. Doesn't necessarily mean that he will be the captain to go up and receive this plaque, but as you say, John, both of these teams will no doubt have some role to play with where the New York Cup ends up at the end of the year.
I would imagine so, yeah. I thought the first half there was some excellent football played in it. In the second half they started crowded out around the middle of the field and left it not as entertaining for the neutral spectator, but look, a win's a win, and Kinawley will take something from that the other day, and the fact that
a win's a win, John, and if you're going to win the big prizes, you have to win the smaller one to get what you'd call a winning mentality going.
The Derrygonnellys of this world now, they're not dead and buried as yet by any means, and also any day you're beating Derrygonnellys, it's not a bad day.
Yeah, and I would be shocked if there's not someone from Ederney watching this game, because they of course play Derrygonnelly in the division in the senior championship quarter final. Kinawley have a game to play against Rosslea Shamrocks, so that's a couple of weeks away yet. We're going to
the Ederney Derrygonnelly game will be a fine game, and whoever comes through there, everyone will be watching that one, because they'll be all reckon that they're the two favourites there to start with. But
so Kinawley break from their post-match huddle, and their captain is going to be coming to receive this plaque from the Fermanagh GAA chairman, who is Greg Kelly, here in Brewster Park. As I said, don't forget, folks watching this on Fermanagh GAA TV, that tomorrow evening Gerard Tracy will bring you coverage of the 1B final, which is Erngales and Devenish. And if ever there was I don't want to say grudge match, John, but if there's two clubs that don't want to give anything to the other one, it's going to be in that game between Devenish and Erngales.
Well, that has been going on for a long time. But Devenish now, both of them.
Well, Erngales to be relegated last year, to have bounced back so well.
Yeah.
Yeah. And with that, it's the Kinawley captain, Kieran Breen, who's going to receive it from the Fermanagh chairman, Greg Kelly. So we move to take this presentation.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the county board, I'd just like first of all to thank host club Enniskillen and Gales for having Brewster Park ready for this final tonight. A very, I think, appropriate place, our county ground as well, to have Division 1A final of our subsidiary competition. I'd like also to congratulate Dermot Love and his match officials on a very efficient display in a lively and entertaining encounter, and very sporting. I just was supposed to say that this subsidiary competition was the brainchild of CCC, having consulted with clubs on this condensed season and how we should go about our league. And I'd like to congratulate CCC on coming up with a very innovative structure to our league. This was essentially, I suppose, a pre-season competition, if you could call it that, in these strange times in the months of May and June. And I suppose both teams will be fairly satisfied with a very useful run out there tonight, and the points gained towards the league proper will go down well, no doubt, to give you a bit of a head start on other clubs. So without further ado, I'd like to commiserate with Derrygonnelly and congratulate Kinawley Brian Bruce on their victory here tonight, and I wish you all the best, both clubs, for the rest of the season. And without further ado, I'd just like to present the little trophy here that you can keep, by the way, to Kieran, the Kinawley captain. All right, Kieran, you can lift it there because I can't present it to you. Disinfect the microphone here and do things properly.
I'll keep things short and sweet here. I didn't prepare anything, so apologies if I forget anyone in advance. First of all, thanks to Derrygonnelly. Every game we play against you is played at savage intensity. I think that's what both of us wanted coming into the league. That game at Avon. So 3 cheers for Derrygonnelly. Hip hip. Hip hip. Hip hip. I'd like to thank the officials here tonight, Dermot and his team. It was a very intense game and lots of stuff going on in it. You had your hands full, so thanks again for tonight and everything you've done this season. So thanks to yous. To the supporters, Kinawley supporters, thanks for your support, not just this season but every season. Couldn't have done without it. I mean, he's really pushed us on in every game the last couple of seasons, so thanks again, and hope to see us out again throughout the league and championship, so thanks for that. The lads, I know it's early days yet, lads, but thanks for the commitment so far. It's been next to none. He's put a savage effort so far this season. Every season he's come out, and hopefully it's another stepping stone to our end goal, lads. So keep up the commitment, lads. Keep out, and yeah, hopefully there'll be more silver down the line. And Yeah, Brewster Park, lads, thanks for everyone keeping Savage Nick, and thanks Ollie and Terry and all for everything done this season, lads. So, thanks to you, and that's it, lads.
Thank you very much, good man.
So that yeah, so that was the Kinawley captain Kieran Breen, who was thanking everyone involved with this game here tonight. John, just a final word on Kinawley. We have been talking even last year, they definitely are a rising team, and it is important for them to win the like of this game so that they can begin to get a winning mentality going.
That's what I maintain. Like there's a couple of things in their favour tonight. The fact that we're playing at Brewster Park again, where I suppose a lot of championship matches will be played eventually. But
Yeah.
It's a good experience for them. And you know, you could say that they played the whole second half without Thomas Corrigan. They
Yeah.
have Paddy McGovern.
They also were missing Acklin O'Cahan from the first 30 seconds.
And they still can have plenty of squad members as well. So, you know, you just don't start to put someone on the pedestal that they're going to be county champions the first year round. Like, Ballinelec was sort of put in that situation last year where I thought it was a bit unfair because the teams only after coming up and so forth. And it takes a while to establish themselves. Like, but Derrygonnelly or Kinawley on the right footing because they came here to win it, and Derrygonnelly certainly came not to lose it.
Yeah.
You know, so look at there could be two satisfied groups anyway this evening, and I still think that Kinawley will
be thereabouts.
They're thereabouts, but how they deal with the likes of Shamey or Sean Quigley is only part and parcel of what Roslay have, but at the same time, experienced men down through the years.
Well, they have now 9 league games to play, so that's before we come to a championship. And with that, we will wrap up our coverage here from Brewster Park. Thanks to the team. And final thing I will say, don't forget, tomorrow night, you mightn't forget it anyway, it's tomorrow night it's Aaron Gales against Devonish in the 1B final. But before that, tomorrow afternoon, we wish good luck to the last year's minor panel who finally get an opportunity to play their game. They're playing against Monaghan, and that game is going to be played in Brewster Park, so keep your eye out for the updates for that. It's in Breffni Park. It's in Breffni Park tomorrow afternoon at 3 p.m. So keep your eye to the Fermanagh social media channels in that game. We wish all the best to the minor team. They've had a long delay, but tomorrow hopefully they can get the victory and get to Ulster Championship final. And with that, it is goodbye from John and myself. Until the next time, Slán.